recording? Yeah, we're recording. What's going on, guys? It's your friendly neighborhood two-wheel pursuit back at it again. It's been a while, but I thought it was about time to do a little update video on my bike, the CBR500R. Because I've had it for 2 years now. Put 6,765 miles on the bike, which is, you know, pretty decent. I'm sure some guy in the comments is gonna be like, oh, you only put on that many miles in 2 years, you fucking weekend rider. You know, that's kind of true. I ride this bike quite a bit, but the reality is I live in the Northeast. We have a lot of snow here in the winter, so it's not my primary vehicle. Don't ride it all the time, but I have, you know, this is my first bike. I made a 500-mile review, I think. It was something, maybe 700-mile, way back when I first got the bike. I figured now would be a good time to make an update video. Let's start off by talking about some of the bad parts of the CBR500. It's had a few problems. Fortunately, no recalls or anything like that, but I've done all the maintenance on time, everything according to schedule, everything done at a dealer for the most part, except when I would put on mods or something like that. So, the problems I've had with the bike, around 3,500 miles, I believe, something around there. Oh, that guy's in trouble. Around 3,500 miles, the water pump, or coolant pump, whatever you want to call it, started to fail. There was a leak of some sort of liquid coming from the bike, brought it into the dealership. They fixed it free of charge. It was covered under warranty, so, you know, no complaints there. Because if I didn't have it under warranty, I'm not sure how much that would have cost. And you know, it took them a long time to get that part in too. This was last year. I think it took them about a month to get that part in. No idea why it took them that long, but anyway. So the water pump, that was one thing that broke on this bike. Besides that, only recently I had my rear tire changed. It was probably about time anyway, but I got a nail in my rear tire, so, you know, that's not something that I'm gonna count as something being wrong with the bike. That could happen with any bike. But I got a nail in the rear tire. When I brought it in to have that taken care of, the mechanic in there told me that my left front fork seal was kind of not looking too good. And he's right, it's not looking too good. It's leaking pretty badly. I know I gotta get that taken care of. I'm not sure how much that's gonna cost me. I'm guessing somewhere in the $300 range. So that's not fun, but you know, just being completely honest with you guys as far as what I've had to do with this bike. Besides that is maintenance. I had the 700-mile maintenance, and then 4,000-mile maintenance, and then pretty soon I'll be doing the 8,000-mile maintenance. Change the oil, you know, chain, all that stuff. Usually try to clean and lube the chain every 1,000 miles at least. I know that's pretty long for some people, but you know, go like 500 miles. Try to clean and lube the chain. I think that's about it. Yeah, I mean, this isn't like meant to be a detailed review or anything like that. This is more of an updated review. You guys can go check out my original review of this bike, because really my opinions of it have not changed drastically in any way. But just give you guys an update, you know, at these miles, what it feels like to own the CBR500. Like I said, this was my first bike. One of the reasons I'm making this video now is I'm not sure how much longer I'll have this bike. I would definitely like to trade up to something bigger. I've been looking at, 600s, 1000s. I definitely would like a bit more power, especially on the highway, because it's like you got a fair amount of power in this bike, but if you want to pass someone, or if someone, gets mad at you, they want to ride your ass up to 90 miles an hour, you want to be able to get away from those people, get out of those situations. So, I've been looking around different bikes. If I see something that is a good deal and I want, and I can afford it, and trade this bike in, then I'm definitely going to do that. So I felt like now is a good time. Felt like now is a good time to update this bike, update this review rather, and just give you guys my opinion on it, because I might not have it for too much longer. So just kind of continuing, not to say that there's a whole lot bad about this bike, but to continue sort of from what I was talking about, the repairs and stuff, in the theme of bad things related to this bike, is the power is, I don't want to say it gets boring, because I've heard a lot of people say that, and it's like, it doesn't get boring, really. It's just, you get to a point in your riding career where you're like, yeah, more power would be okay, because you're comfortable with this power. You always kind of want to push yourself into the limit of where you're comfortable. And I definitely, I feel 100% comfortable on this bike now, with the power this bike has. I've topped it out. That's in another video you guys can check out on my channel. Topped out like 109, I think, which is just slow for this bike, I believe. I think I've seen videos on YouTube of people topping it out at 120. But, each bike is a little bit different. So the power, just the way the power is delivered, is kind of a boring... I don't want to say boring bike, but I guess that's how I'm going to describe it. It's kind of a boring bike. Like, you would like a bit more power delivery, a bit more torque sometimes, definitely. So that's something else to consider. But that being said, that's a good thing too, because if you're a new rider, I think this is a really good bike for a new rider. If you can get it for a good deal. I way overpaid for this bike. Kind of regret it, but not really, because I like the bike. But yeah, you definitely, if you can get this bike at like a really good deal, then that's a good, I would go for it, because I can't see getting like a 250 or a 300 after owning this bike. The new Kawasaki Ninja 400, that's a pretty good bike. Definitely could compete with this bike as far as power and whatnot, but don't cut out in front of me, please. Thank you. As far as the looks go, I think this bike looks extremely good. I wish almost that they had just saved the styling of this bike and put it on a more powerful bike, like a CBR500R or something like that. I think this is really one of the best looking bikes that Honda has ever made, in my opinion. But of course, everyone has their own opinion in regards to that. I feel like if you are looking for a beginner bike, this bike is pretty good. I would recommend getting it. Definitely try to get a good deal on it, but the power is perfectly manageable for a beginner rider. Even in first gear, when it has the most torque, there's really not a whole lot on it. You're gonna have to really rev the shit out of that engine to do a proper wheelie, and this bike's pretty difficult to wheelie. So it has ABS, which is a nice option too. I have that on this bike. At this point, I would say don't really feel like I need ABS, but it's okay. It's nice. A good thing for beginners, I think, because you're just not as aware of your surroundings, not as aware of cars and what the hell people are doing around you. So you're going to get yourself into some situations that you shouldn't be in. But you know, as you get more experience, you can make your own decision as far as whether or not you feel like ABS is a good thing for you. Yeah, I mean, there really is not a whole lot bad to say about it. As far as mods that I've done to it, I did a fender eliminator. I threw on a Yoshimura exhaust, which sounds really good in my opinion. So it still has the cat. It's not a full system, it's just a slip-on. You know, I guess I won't run this red light because there's a cop right there. I mean, it's a smooth all-around bike. You wouldn't know it if you're someone who doesn't know about bikes, then you probably would think that this bike has a bit more power than it does. I think it's doing something like 45 horsepower, which, you know, at that point, it's like no one's really going to be competing on power at this level of bike. No one really cares. So, but it has a good amount. Yeah, I mean, first gear, full throttle. It's not going to do a whole lot. It'll throw you back in your seat, yeah, but it's not going to do a whole lot. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot bad to say about this bike. The good things, I mean, I've said most of the good things that I like about this bike in my original video, which was a 700-mile review video, and I highly encourage you guys to go check out that video because, you know, anything that I said in that video, I'm going to try not to repeat myself in this video. Hopefully this video will be a bit shorter. I'm not going to film any cinematics for it or anything like that. This is just, you know, get out on a quick ride, tell you guys my feelings on the bike. The things I like about the bike: I love the style, I love the ergonomics of it, very comfortable. I mean, I've ridden this bike all day before. It's very comfortable. You're not really crunched over at all. The handlebars are nice and high. But it still looks sporty. It looks like a real sport bike to anyone who doesn't know what a sport bike looks like. You know, it looks like, for a lot of people, they couldn't tell the difference between this and the 600. They look almost exactly the same. They both look really aggressive, both look really sporty, which, you know, as a new rider, that's what you really want. I think you want something that looks the part, but maybe, you know, you're not going to be doing 180 miles an hour on. So I really like the styling, really like the headlights. As far as maintenance goes, you know, incredibly easy bike to work on. Maintenance is very simple, barely, you know, you're going to do a lot more riding on this bike than you're going to do having it in the shop or working on it, anything like that. Unless you want to mod it or do something crazy like throw on a 10-foot swing arm. You know what, actually we're going to go straight. Another thing that I like on this bike, the mirrors are really good. They don't look the best, but, you know, they're pretty good as far as being able to see behind you to the sides. They work really well. You just gotta get them dialed into, you know, how you like your mirrors. You know, the display here, very nice. No complaints about that. Doesn't have a gear indicator. I don't think that's a problem at all. You know, no complaints from me regarding that. But getting into the things I don't like so much about the bike, you know, coming stock, not a big fan of the stock exhaust. That shit is so quiet, like you can hear yourself breathe. I would say the stock tires on it are not all that great. I feel like I have a lot more confidence in riding this bike after I threw a whatever Dunlop Q3 on the back. So I have the same front tire, but I threw on a Q3 on the rear, and that definitely, I feel like I have a bit more traction going around corners. Leans in a bit nicer. Another thing, you know, this bike is very flickable, even with the stock tires, so that's a nice aspect about it. Very easy low speed maneuvering. really going to go any more into detail about stuff I don't like about the bike, but you know, let's see, what are we? I think we're third gear right now, third or fourth gear, probably fourth gear. Let me just show you guys, like, I'll just full throttle it right here. Not much is gonna happen. There's not gonna be a whole lot that's gonna happen, so you're not gonna get in trouble with this bike nearly as easily as you would with even like an FZ07. You know, the power on this bike is so controllable, and if you drop it down a gear, yeah, you'll have a bit more power, and that's what you do when you need the power. Drop it down a gear on the highway, and you should have enough power for just about any situation. Let's see, I mean, that's about it. I really I don't have a whole lot that you know, there's not a whole lot that I haven't talked about this bike. My opinion hasn't changed on it a whole lot. It's just I'm looking for something with a bit more power at this point in my riding career. So I felt like now it's a good time to make this video, just because I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna have this bike. Gotta make sure you stop for that stop sign there. Just go ahead and pull in here real quick, show you guys just how nice the bike looks. Actually, I'll leave that on so you can see those headlights. I think that front end looks really nice. Exhaust, Yoshimura R77 slip-on, got the Q3 on the back. Yeah, I mean, really, this bike's pretty stock, and there's not much I would do to it. I mean, I think it's a very nice bike, but let's get back on and wrap up this video. So, sort of my almost 7,000 mile conclusion of this bike is, you know, I could definitely see myself keeping it for a while longer. I'm not like so bored of it that I don't ride anymore or anything like that. No, I still love the bike, but sort of I've come to the conclusion that I would like more power, I'd like more torque, but I love this bike. It's a great bike. Honda is really, you know, there's plenty of people who are going to be like, oh, the Ninja 400 is better than the CBR500. Like, dude, no one really cares. They're both small bikes. You can't even really compare the two. Because, I mean, it's stupid to compare a 500 to a 300, or a 500 to a 400, I mean. You know, it's like the differences are so small. Just ride what you like. And personally, every time I'm going to go with the CBR500 because this is the bike I've had for 2 years and I absolutely love it. It's been a lot of fun. It's a great entry into riding bikes. And, you know, the time has come for me to get a bigger bike at this point, I would say. So, nothing bad really about this bike. Nothing that is making me sell it. No major complaints really. It's a really fun bike, and I would say if you have the opportunity to buy one of these bikes, definitely do it. Alright guys, well, it's getting kind of late. I have a tinted visor on, so it's going to be getting dark here in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I hope you guys enjoyed. I read literally every comment that someone leaves on one of my videos. So if you have a question about this bike and I didn't answer it in this video, you know, feel free to go ahead and leave a comment, and I will definitely reply to you. I mean, unless YouTube fucks up somehow and doesn't show me the comment or something, but I really try to read 100% of my comments and reply to as many of them as I can. Alright guys, that being said, I'm gonna wrap up the video right here. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, or not, you know, whatever. But I do hope that you enjoyed the video. That's why I make these videos, because I try to help people out with their buying decisions if they're looking to get a CBR500 or whatever bike. But yeah, hopefully this video helped you. If you have any questions, leave it in a comment below. Until the next video, you guys ride safe.